This is Speak Up. I am Sandra Schulte. Welcome back to our show. I am very fortunate to have Henry Buell and Sandra Sanchez come back to us. We were talking about the Association of Community Employment for the Homeless, a very successful program. So we're going to continue to talk about the program so that you understand why it's so successful and what it gives to the participants, why you have such a great success rate. Henry, please tell us how you decide, or the participants decide, what kind of employment to get involved in.
Well, very often they're carpenters or electricians and truck drivers, or they had a job before, and so they want to go back into the same industry. But often we have people, it's their first job that they're getting. Our average age is about 36, which is kind of surprising. I think people had thought. We have 80 to 85% of our people are black, and most of the rest are Hispanic. I've been around to other places, like in Hawaii, they're all white. All the homeless people are white. It changes in every community, yes. But if it's their first job, we offer them a variety of different plants, different certifications, that they can take. And
such as?
Like, food handling, we have janitorial.
OSHA.
We have 6 OSHA, which means construction work, and we have
forklifting.
Forklift is, maybe that's different. Forklifting, when the woman, Liz, who runs that program, came to me and said, we'd like to put on forklifting. I said, the silliest thing. You know what it is. It's a machine that lifts things up and down.
In warehouses, yes.
That people won't go to it because it's too sophisticated. It's the most popular program we have. I was dead wrong. And
well-paid job too.
And well-paid jobs they go into with that. So at any rate, so we ask them, what do you think you'd like to do? And if they don't like it, as I mentioned before, they can come back and we can give them more training, and they can get another job, try another field, if they would like.
Yes, it's like different kinds of internships, so to speak.
That's
and
correct.
Then they can go into the work full time if they like it.
Mm-hmm.
What organizations do you work with? Work with ACE as a first step out of homelessness and the first step into the world of employment?
We have restaurants like La Durée, the contracts with the councilmen, sanitation contracts. We have a construction company named Praxis New York City that takes our graduates. Revel, the Soho House. We have Flushing Improvement District, and other bids throughout the city. And the local New York hostel. We also have this important one, which is the Council of Airport Opportunity, that also works with us. We have some clients that have got a job at airports. Actually, a very successful story. One of our clients got a job, and he manages all the restaurants in the airport with a highly paid salary. So we have many organizations that partner with us.
Henry,
but we welcome more.
Henry, where does a homeless person live while he or she is learning the elementary schools needed to become employable?
Well, they're in homeless shelters, they're in drug treatment centers, they're on their uncle's couch or somebody's couch, and none of them are off the street. We don't take them off the street. They have to be in a program, or they have to show us that they're drug-free and alcohol-free for at least a month before they come into our program.
And you test them at the beginning.
We test them at the beginning,
and at the end of a month.
We give them tests for
Randomly.
their to see what class they should go in, if they have to go in the low class or a higher class. Early on, we had 12% of college graduates in our program.
Wow.
And we had a Yale architect come in and a Harvard lawyer. And you say, come on, you're kidding me, you know, why would they have to be? But both of them had the same problem. Both of them had good jobs. And then they went on drugs. This was early on when I started it. They went on drugs. And then they got fired by their jobs because they weren't performing. And then they were both married and had children, and the wife threw them out of the house, and because they weren't bringing home the bacon. And then they went out on the street, became homeless, looked like any other homeless person, and went to jail. And then they got out of jail, and they said, we have to get a job. And they came into our program because we're drug-free and alcohol-free, so we could verify that they were drug-free. And obviously, we don't get a lawyer's job or an architect's job, so they went and got their own jobs and became successful again. But it's amazing that we would have college graduates come through our program.
How does the individual get his or her first job, Henry?
Their first job?
Their first job.
Well, they go through our training program, and then they decide what they want to do. And that we give them time. We have them work on the computers to look for a job if they want, and
We help them with their resume.
we help them with their resume. Good point.
Mock interviews. We prepare them for the interview. We train them. And there are a lot of also people that come, they help us, volunteers that will come and do mock interviews with our clients.
When the client finds the position for instance, on the computer,
We
a
help
computer
them.
listing.
We help them. They're guided through the whole entire process. And we help them with their resumes, and we help preparing them for the interview.
What are some of the first job placements that I think you said that. You said forklift, construction. What kind of job does the client usually move into next after he's done his first job? Is there any preference?
Well, most of them keep their job, the first job they get. We have a group, we have about, on our payroll, about 140 people that are out doing sanitation work, and they can only be there for 2 years. It's kind of, they weren't prepared to go out into a big job to begin with. So we prepare them for 2 years, and after 2 years of sanitation work, they are expected to go and get another higher paying job. And that's kind of a stepping stone for them to go on.
But the fields that they usually go in are like, some of them social workers. They work in like, there's a reception area of a drug treatment place, hospitals.
Hospitals are a big place.
Yes, they work there.
Yeah.
Does the organization supply someone to act as a partner for each individual as they develop skills while doing their job? So, like, in other words, if they're having trouble on the job, like, help them figure out how to do it?
We actually, Henry had talked this a bit earlier. They come back to us every month and they talk to us about their experience. If they like, if they're not, if they're having trouble with their supervisor, and then if they want to change a job, then we will guide them through, updating a resume and preparing them for the job that they would like to move into it. That's how it's done.
I see. What happens if that person loses that job for whatever reason?
We immediately will help them get another job. That's what we do.
That's why we give them $50 if they bring their paycheck back, and really counsel them what they want to do if they didn't like their first job.
Yeah.
So that they actually will find a new job before they quit the old job.
Very important, what you just said.
Exactly. So that's important. So they are not unemployed, right? So we want them to transition to another career that they want to be in. So that's how it's done.
So they understand that you don't quit your job before you have something else.
That's correct.
You don't leave yourself in a pit, so to speak.
That's correct. They are counseled throughout. We have counselors that will help them throughout the whole process.
How were you able to meet your clients' needs during COVID when people were afraid to come to work?
Yes, we did that by phone, by Zoom. That's how we did it.
Not very successfully.
Well, actually was successful, HB, because we help a lot of the graduates that lost their job, and a lot of them were also in terrible emotional distress, and they needed help.
Yes.
So
Well, they
able
did.
to
We
help
tried.
them.
Yeah, I'm not saying we didn't, but it's not like being face to face with somebody. That's a better.
We actually during COVID, because we could not take in new clients, right? Because remember, when you take in new clients, we have to actually, they go through a whole process. And so we couldn't. We are helping the graduates that were losing jobs, they were in distress.
Yes.
And that's how we did. And also we partner with World Kitchen. What is that name of that organization? It's called
World Kitchen. Huh?
Yes, I think it's World Kitchen. And we were preparing, helping them in the preparation with meals, over 1,000 meals per week, and distributing to all the families in need. And for our graduates, we help them financially, the ones that lost jobs, for money for food, for their basic necessities.
That was a very huge program.
Yes.
They were giving food to the elderly, to the
Correct.
and I think
World Trade Kitchen, yes.
Yeah.
We are involved with them as
families.
well.
Is giving back one of the messages of the program? If so, how is that done? Giving back.
Usually the graduates, they're so happy and they're so grateful for what happened. So they come in actually and help the clients that are now in the process of becoming graduates and going in the world. So they encourage them and they tell them their stories and their success, where they are now, and how it was difficult to get where they were, but they stuck to the program and they are successful now. So that's how it's the giving back. An ex-client who is now a graduate helps the next one.
He says, I am a model.
That's correct.
I could do it. You can do it too.
That's exactly it. One encourages the other. It's amazing. The graduation that we hold is the most inspiring event that we have. We have several of those per year where they graduate once they get full-time employment, and then we invite all the ex-clients that are now graduates. They come in, they support those, also board members and people, donors, and others that are interested in our cause. It's a very emotional ceremony. We're seeing it.
I can imagine.
Yes.
What are some examples of other recovery and support resources that you point your client to in case there's not someone available in your system in time of need?
We usually we always have a counsel available to them. But if they need psychiatric help, we have to point them to an organization that can help them with that, as we cannot.
Yes.
So we always can help them in any way they possibly need. If we cannot physically help ourselves, we'll help them get to the place where they have to go.
How do you lower the mental effect of homelessness and the mental effects of despair as a client works towards steady employment or experiences those feelings in the workplace?
Well, it's we counsel them. We encourage them to come and talk to us about, and we help them to prepare them for the workforce so that they don't get stressed and lose their temper. How to position with their supervisor, with their colleagues. So that's how it's done.
And not necessarily and also not to personalize.
That's correct. So we have people that help them in our organization.
What are some of the roles that ACE graduates play in supporting the program and other graduates?
Encouragement.
Is this similar to Alcoholics Anonymous?
No, no, I think not. We are beyond Alcoholics Anonymous.
What is your lifelong aftercare program?
HB, do you want to talk about the aftercare program?
Well, we as I said, aftercare, as I said, if they have a job and they're working, we encourage them to come back and every month with their paycheck, and somebody will talk to them and see if they're happy. And aftercare, and we, want to ask, where are you living? Do you are you happy where you're living? Can we go out and help find a new place if you're not happy? And
we also hold social events for them and their families.
Yeah, we take them to the zoo, and we take them to the circus and to movies together, and that brings them all together. They like that. Maybe 60, 70 we took to the circus last year. And this is all good because they are all in the same boat and they all need help. So they talk to each other about this.
Talking to each other is very important.
Very important.
At what stage in their life or professional development after their first job do they usually join aftercare?
Immediately.
Yeah.
100% of them enroll in that. And that's what Henry was talking about. They come, why do they all want to enroll? Because then they come to us. For the first year, they get paid $50 a month to bring their pay stub. And for the second year, every 3 months, they bring the stubs and they get $50. So it's a 2-year program. So that's the incentive they have.
Yes.
And that's what our program is so different than others. They say, well, you give them money. Actually, we help them. Is actually an encouragement for them to stay employed, to bring this stub, to report back to us, for us to know also to keep track of their development, right, and success.
But only about 80%, which is very high, do that, bring their stub back. The others are secure, or they go off and and drugs again, and we don't hear from them. Or
there are some relapses, yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
But 80% is so respectable, my God.
Very high, yeah.
And speaking about that, I think we ought to, Curry, will you please bring up that program achievement page? Sandra, would you kindly tell us the statistics to explain why this program is so exceptional, why people really...
Well, it is so successful. I actually describe our program as a private school. because we're not a huge organization because we don't have the funds. We'll probably one day will be. But I call us like a private school. So the classrooms, the client gets really personal attention, one-on-one counseling, group counseling. We partner, we have lawyers, a legal system that will help them, financial counseling, and we are like so attentive to our clients that's what I attribute our success rate. They have the whole guidance,
attention.
and forever they call us a family. So when they come, the past clients from 7, 8 years ago that comes to graduation, which they still coming, they say that ACE is their family, is part of their family, because they can always come back to us. We actually welcome them to keep coming back. It's very important for us.
67% 1-year employment retention. That speaks. $16.28 is the average starting wage. What a wonderful incentive.
Yes.
71% of graduates receive employer-sponsored benefits because of the jobs that
That's correct.
you have encouraged these people to take. I mean, how many jobs receive employer-sponsored benefits in this world?
Yes, it's becoming more and more difficult
Yeah,
because of the cost of health insurance.
yes.
We offer all of our people health insurance. Now, they don't all take it because they have government health insurance, but we're required to offer everybody health insurance.
35% received a wage increase in 1 year. My goodness, what employee is not happy to receive a wage increase?
Right.
Period.
And also, once they have determined that they want to re-enter society again and be part of it, they excel in what they're doing. It's amazing. They're most grateful for having their lives back and being back employed. They do so well.
They want to show that they are with it. They want to prove to themselves and their employer
Exactly.
that they are worthy.
Yes.
55% of 2020 graduates secured independent housing in 2021. Independent housing. $135,000 were earned by participants through paid work experience training.
That's what we do, exactly. While they are going through learning and taking their certifications and getting prepared for the workforce, we also give them 2 days of paid work in exchange for sanitation that they do with the contracts through the boroughs in New York. So that's very good for them.
And 100% of their graduates came off of public assistance. My goodness.
That's correct.
100 full-time ACE employees who have overcome homelessness. And on average, $689 are saved on average by participants during Project Comeback,
Yes.
which Henry described.
Correct.
Then they have 2 grade levels advancement in math and reading.
Because of the classes, we place them, when they come into the program, we go through and see at which level they are, and as they start to excel, they're moved to different levels, and by the time they're done with our program, they're 2 levels above what they were when they entered the program.
And a lot of these people probably were held back in school, had to repeat a grade.
Yes, probably.
9,000 hours of paid work experience training have been completed by ACE participants.
In that year.
2021, the year of COVID, the year of the plague.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please bring up the exhibit that talks about the gala, Corey? Sandra, would you please tell us about this wonderful event that helps
Yes,
fund
exactly.
this program?
Our gala
Fund.
helps fund our certifications, a lot of the great stuff we do with our clients and participants.
When is this anniversary event going to be held?
30th anniversary of ACE this year. The event is going to be held at Capital on October 12th. Great dinner, entertainment, dancing.
Remember, if you want to help fund it, this program is called ACE. And you can find them on what website?
www.acenewyork.org.
Again?
www.acenewyork.org.
And the full name of ACE is Association of Community Employment
Programs for the homeless.
Programs.
Thank you. Anyway, I want to thank you so much, Henry, for
Thank
coming
you.
on the program.
It's a pleasure. I hope our audience learned something today.
Yes, and thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank you, Sandra, for having us here today and to help us spread the word and what we do, and so that other people can be can have the incentive to help a very needed cause that is homelessness, and they understand better.
Oh, yes, homelessness.
Has grown quite a bit now. A lot of it too has to do with the mental, post-pandemic issues that they have encountered. It got worse, unfortunately.
This is Speak Up. I am Sandra Schulte. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. Goodbye.